Good morning, Jake. How are you?
Good, man. How are you today?
I'm kicking ass, taking names, man. I am ready for today's episode. I am so pumped. I can't even tell you. Uh, this episode is so near and dear to me that I'm just brimming. I can't even speak. That's how excited I am about it. This episode today, we're talking about the separation between business and personal, right? Business and
It's a nice
personal
lie.
development, business development, personal development. That overstated, overused health piece where people are talking about mind body, people are talking about health, people are talking about wealth, merging the two. You're only as good as your body. All this nonsense. Well, we're going to cut through the crap. We're going to go disruption style. We're going to be blunt about it, and we're gonna kick some butt today. And
Cool.
it's been near and dear to me, man, because I made my bones right in this space, and I made my bones in the shadows, helping the 1% keep their mind, body, and spirit all tactically healthy, so they can go out there and rock and roll and make their
Mhm.
impact. Now, where are you with all this stuff, man? Are you a believer? Are you a non-believer? Like, I know you're out there in the front yard practicing the bow and you're out in the woods and stuff. So I mean, you definitely live it, but where are you with the actual framework of the definition?
Yeah, I live it. I totally live it now. And it wasn't that long ago that I didn't. Like it wasn't that long ago that I didn't at all. And I can look back and because I am gifted and cursed with an amazing memory of I can remember exactly what it was like trying to do that, live that crap lifestyle of, I got my work life and I got my, my personal life and I got my Jake life and I got my family life and I got my go to the gym life and I got all this other crap. I totally remember where that was. It was freaking miserable when it came right down to it because I was just disconnected. And it really shifted for me. And you've been in this space a long time. So we believe that there's the personal development space, there's the business development space, there's the wealth development space. That's all crap because yes, they exist in different segments, but they're not interdependent of each other. They all overlap. I mean, there's like we know that that's true because, and I don't remember who said this quote. I'm going to butcher this quote, but if your body's in terrible shape and you let your body go, you've only got the one of them. Where else are you going to live? I guess.
And and think about it. If your body's going to crap and your health is going down, well,
Mhm.
how now I've seen exceptions to the rule, but how well do you think you're going to be able to handle business? How well do you
You
think you're going to
can't.
be able to handle your family or your personal priorities? You're not. You're going
Mhm.
to be sucked in. And if you don't have measures in place where a big staff or someone to take the workload, you're kind of stuck in the middle here, man. And
Mhm.
this is why I like, when we coach and in our guild and when we're doing our respective independent coaching, this is a big piece to the puzzle. And looking at this is quintessential in long term sustained success.
Mhm.
And staying ahead of the curve and not being afraid to challenge your health and well being, whether it's mental or physical, is a crucial piece. It is crucial. Now, let's take a quick example. What's Simone Biles? Remember her? She was an
Mhm.
Olympic athlete, gold
Yep.
medalist. Well,
About 3.5 foot tall, but shows up as like 9 feet tall. Yeah, we remember
right.
her.
Okay. So, top physical athlete has youth on her side, has thousands of hours of practice on her side, and has a competitive edge on her side. She took time off and said, you know what? I need a mental health break here for a minute. Okay. Number one, I applaud you for doing that, Simone. You're the best. Now, those of you that gave her a lot of static said, okay, she shouldn't be doing that. She should be competing. This is a gift. She shouldn't be wasting it. She comes back from that break, boom, gold medal, all the whole 9 yards. Super, super human being. Is that for everybody? No. Does everybody have this space and the luxury to take time off and have a mental health break? No. However, you can set up mini breaks in your day and in your flow so that you're not getting to the point of toxicity. You can create a perfect balance. It takes work and effort, but you can absolutely cultivate that. Like I was a point in my life, I could never take time off. I'll give you an example. I was on a mountain bike ride once. I go over this jump, I land, I don't see a tree root in the way, hit this tree root, it's underneath some brush. I ripped up the whole side of my body, okay, bloody and everything else. You're not your clients, dude. You know, you're totally not your clients. And it was life changing. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was absolutely life changing. And when I applied some of these principles that you and I are going to talk about today, it made all the difference in the world. So let me go back as well. For those folks out there that are struggling a little bit, right? Those men and women out there that are struggling a little bit and are caught in a cycle, you can definitely contribute, right? In several ways. And the less time you have, the more work this is going to take, and the more priority you're going to have to make this thing rock and roll and boil up to. Okay, so this is good advice for you. First thing, and some of this stuff sounds pretty basic, but it all has a 2-week rebound ratio, right? You need to put it in place, and then 2 weeks later, you start reaping the benefit. 14 days later, 13 days later, you start reaping the benefits. Consistency in your hydration. Consistency in your sleep, and consistency in the things that you eat. Notice I said the things that you eat. You can't, without a consistent way to eat, I don't care whether you're eating junk all the time. That's not even what I'm talking about. You need to consistently consume fuel. Now, the quality of fuel based on your budget, you can do the best you can and make an educated decision. There's thousands of information pieces out there regarding regardless of your budget. No two things work for any one person.
Right.
However, hydration, sleep, and consistent fuel and consistent movement. Even if you're standing here, like we don't sit here all day at our desk just broadcasting. You know, we get up, we move around. I've got systems where I can even, you know, in our guild, I can show people what I do all day long to keep me limber. At the time of this recording here, show here, I'm 40. I'll be 49 next month. You know, I can touch my toes with no problem, right? And I'm over 200 pounds, right? I can do a handstand. I'm doing all kinds of things. Why? Because I don't let it go, right? I have injuries, but I don't let it go. So those 4 quadrants, you can expand on them based on time, budget, and resources. Now, notice I didn't put the old consistent money in there. If you have some set of discipline where you are literally taking care of yourself in those 4 quadrants, or if you're not, then expect the outcome. If you're not getting the right hydration, boom, okay, then there's going to be hunger differentials, there's going to be energy differentials, there's going to be aches, tiredness, pain, unnecessary stuff that you're dealing with. Now, if you hydrate properly, are you going to act like you're on caffeine all the time? No, but you're not going to reduce and you're not going to induce the withdrawal from hydration. Consistent food, right? If you're not getting fuel throughout the day or throughout the week, actually, because you typically eat on a 7-day cycle, a little technical, I'll skip over that. You're going to feel it, right? If you're not moving enough, you're definitely going to feel that. And moving enough for some folks could just be standing up, doing hip circles. Could just be backing up, doing 20 breaths, right? Depending on your physicality or not, okay? And then obviously sleep. You know you're not getting enough of it. Irritability, tired, achy, sore, all the things, right? And do higher serotonin or lower serotonin, all kinds of things, right? Just know it doesn't work every time for everybody, right? And nobody gets optimal everything all the time. You just have to have those 4 horsemen sitting in the back of your brain and model that, even if you don't have the budget for it. So why don't you, Jake, let's talk about some coaching here, right? So, you know, Jake and I, we have our high speed society in the guild, and we're talking heavily every episode about how we help people transform business-wise and personally. But you can't make that transformation. You can't tap into our expertise just on video, because video itself right here is not instruction, right? Instruction comes when you meet with us in our space. So tell them about the guild there, Jake.
So the reason that you and I built this was from a broader reach for those that want the accessibility without the excessive accountability. Let's just be really honest with that. Like this is that group of people that's still on that. I kind of want more control over it. I want to do it on my own, but I could use a little bit of support around that. But I still want access to all the resources, and I want access to the support when I want it, not necessarily what it is. So that's that's one of the reasons that Michael and I built this. So we do weekly intensive live coachings and webinars. That's one of those things you can show up, ask us any damn thing you need to ask us so that we can unpack that and work with you where you are. We've got, in my mind, every conceivable possible business and personal development resource and access to within that space as well. And then the third part is it's a community. We can overuse the hell out of that word too, but it's a community of everybody gets together as a support mechanism and as a networking, collaborative, and joint venture mechanism to grow you as a person, to grow you as a business, to just increase your wealth and increase your opportunities. So that's really what the Guild is all about. And of course, we're always about supporting our causes, Boys and Girls Club and Wounded Warriors. So anytime somebody joins the Guild, a portion of that subscription goes directly to them. We want to make sure we put them front and foremost. I miss anything?
Yeah, go to www.total-disruption.com. And you have to scroll around the page. You can test drive it and see if you like it. We like to say there's no contracts, no commitments. However, results will be your contract. Results will be your commitment. We are here. We do this because we're trying to push the envelope. We're trying to help you get better. We're trying to help you go faster and get fired up, right? Whatever it is you're trying to do, look better, feel better, move better. That's my specialty. Jake's mental mind performance. We collide in business. We are moving people as we've been doing for the last 30 years. Our community rocks. Our stuff is great. Definitely check us out. So that's enough.
And like Mike said, test drive it. You get 7 days to steal everything you could possibly want to steal from us. If you're like, hey, this isn't for me, peace out, Cub Scout, at the end of that, cool. We're going to love you for it. And you can keep watching the show. But make sure you do. The other thing we wanted to make sure we touched on is we've got a couple events that are coming up that we're going to be talking about. So October 25th and 26th in Denver, Colorado is the Achieve Business Explosion Conference. Mike is going to be there both days. I'm going to be there as much as I can. Mike's always there. So it's a great event. It's another huge networking event, great collaborative event to be able to connect with a lot of other businesses. So if you've got some gaps, like I need to meet this one person in a different business area of expertise, man, there's no shortage of that there. And then the other one is we've got a killer. November 16th is our Total Disruption next virtual conference. This is all going to be about media disruption. And this is all about growing your audience, reaching your audience, how to really get that market penetration to be able to touch your audience in a way that they just can't say no to you. That's where all these right now we've got, I think I counted this morning, I think we have 14 speakers coming in with an audience total somewhere around like 3 million followers with everybody. So it's like, these are people you want to learn from. You want to show up. You want to be part of that. There's going to be some epic resources and nugget drops out of this.
Epic. So DM on our Facebook, and that's Total Disruption. And we have what, Jake? TikTok, or do we have Instagram? Where else?
We got Instagram. We're not cool enough for TikTok. But we got our Instagram handle, Total Disruption. We got Facebook, we got LinkedIn, and you can always go to total-disruption.com, find all those links. And of course, you guys know you can find us on YouTube too.
Right. So we're here for you. And again, if you, going back to the original thing we were talking about earlier, let's say somebody's got the budget for the Guild, right? If you don't have the budget for the Guild, then our YouTube channels, our socials, our information on here is enough for you to be able to begin to organize. The problem with that is it's not quite coaching, it's information, just like from anybody else. They're not actually coaching you. They're just giving you information. The difference between coaching and advice is two totally different things. Coaching is putting everything together with a direction and purpose and some accountability, right? So in the personal and business development world, as we bring it back, people that don't think about separating, a lot of times if you have a business and you're healthy your business and the healthy your body, sometimes the two are out of balance. Sometimes the business is very healthy, the body's not, because Mr. Solopreneur, Mrs. Solopreneur here is pushing, or Mr. Gender Neutral entrepreneur here is pushing in, like, into the business and not enough into themselves, right? Or somebody's going, okay, I need to start my day with 2.5 hours of bliss and this, and the business is kind of here, and it's like, okay, the business is suffering. There's a balance, right? So have you ever seen that move where you draw the wheel of life? You ever heard of that? The wheel of life? So here's a great tool. It's very crude, but you put yourself in the center and you spoke out like the hands of a clock. You spoke out like health, wealth, business, family. It could be anything, and it's a wheel. And then you start moving. In other words, the greater the thing that you're doing the most kind of gets the furthest away from you, because that's got the most volume. And where you're deficient, it kind of gets closer in, right? So you don't have as much. So you can see, in perfect world, you want to have these 12 areas of life. You can look it up and get the topics, but I like to use my own. But that's a great tool. That's a where the hell am I in space? Now, this is too woo-woo for you. I mean, why don't you look at your bank statement and then look at your P&L? Like this Mr., Mrs., or they data person, right? Depending on the pronoun. Okay. Look at your financial statements. Look at your books. It's boring. Look at it. I got money in, money out, right? I got, and then go to the doctor, right? Get some blood work, right? Money in, money out. Data. Can't do anything without data. We can all feel and do all this great stuff. We'll feel ourselves right into poverty. I don't know, Jake. Where are you with all that? I mean, you have any other cool NLP tricks? Any other exercises you do with your clients?
Yep, totally. So with that wheel of life,
don't hide. Give me the details. Don't hide. I need them.
All right. So in my first book, Rings of Impact, we did the wheel of life, but I did it. I changed the model because most people do not have the capacity for 12 things. They might have the capacity for 5. So we redefined the model. And if you look in the first book, Rings of Impact, the model is it's 5 areas of life. You have faith, you have health, you have family, you have business / job, and you have wealth. Those are the 5 areas that I have found in my research and studies that are the most critical. And you use the scale, much like Mike said, in each one of those areas. How would I rate myself? Scale of 1 to 10. 1, I suck. 10, I'm amazing. Nobody's a 10. Let's just get really abundantly clear on that. Nobody's a 10
in everything.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, Mike knows he's a 10 in everything.
I'm a legend in my own mind.
Yeah, so in those, I go a step further in that. And this is where in my universe I know it is absolutely true. Anytime I run up against a wall, we're on this health piece. So let's take the ring of health. Okay, you've got faith and you've got health as your second ring. Who are the 5 people? Who are your 5 mentors and your 5 role models in that circle? And how do they rate? This is that exact tool. So I want everybody to just take, like, if you want to do all 5, cool. For the moment, we're in health. We're in this space of personal development. Health can be mental, health can be physical, health can be however growth. We talked about that. The 5 people that are in there. So let's play this game real quick. So in the overall scheme of health, if you were going to rate yourself today, Mike, on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you plant yourself really?
In health?
Yep.
8.5.
8.5. Fantastic. Okay.
My health has many breakdowns.
And it
macro,
does.
8.5.
Yep. So thinking about the 8.5 in that ring of health, 5 people that you look up to as a mentor and a role model that you model after.
Yep.
Who in there is below an 8.5? You don't have to give names. Do you have anybody in there in that circle, those 5 people you spend the most time around, that is less than an 8.5, clients not included?
Situationally, the people that are being honest, some of them are at an 8.5. Most of them are at a 10 when they're doing
Okay.
that.
Okay. Is there any, who, I almost asked the wrong question. Who would you need to talk to today that's at a 10 that would move you from an 8.5 to a 9 today? Who would you need to like connect with that would inspire you, motivate you, kick you in the ass, whatever it's going to take? Who's that person you'd have to reach out to today?
I would think 2.
Cool.
I have 2 because in my mind, I'm on 2 pieces. One is the nutrition side, the other is the physical side, right? The nutrition side would be Joel Green, and the physical side would be David Weck. And right now I'm deep into what Weck's got going on, and I'm pumped about. It's been around forever. He's the guy that invented the Bosu ball, that the bubble looking thing that's black on the bottom and either black or blue as a dome you stand on and do some stuff. But from where I'm at in my world of integration, those 2 dudes right now have my attention in both those avenues.
Yep. So there's a tactic. That is a direct NLP piece that helps you move forward, because it boils it down to what's one thing I need to do today. And here's what I know is true. Anytime I hit a wall, fake ceiling, wall, issue, barricade, take your pick. It's a barrier. We talk about this in Ideas to Impact too. This is one of your breakthroughs. Is, for me, it's never a resource. It's never a tool. It's never education. Every single time I needed a massive breakthrough, it's a who. It's a person. Every single time. Every time. I know it's true. And so I have made a point of, all right, I'm at this wall. I'm at this space. I'm not getting past it. Who's already on the other side of it? Who do I need to reach out to and say, what am I not seeing? What do I need to see? So they can pull me through that space. Every time, guys, it's a who.
Well, the cool thing about this gig, Jake, is I actually get access to this information and I don't even have to hire you. Isn't that great? It's awesome.
Right?
So thank you. I mean, that was powerful, and that's simple, right? That's a nice, easy, clean. Those of you that are in the paying attention mode, that's the easy, clean version of sort of how to sit down with a crappy pad like this and take notes and just do it, right? You might want to get a bigger pad unless you write real small. I write really big, so I need something this big to write on. But for those of you that are following along, you can do this in any area, right? And you probably should. At some point, you have to take stock. I think that's the biggest crap cutter that we can come up with here at Disruption. If you want to disrupt, you got to stop what you're doing, right? Put the fear down, turn the TV off for a second, because we all do it, right? Or stop the other behavior that's not moving you forward. Even if you're in a stressed out mode, you can literally get a piece of paper in the mail and you do that rings of impact on that piece of paper if you don't want to buy paper. Literally. You can do this anywhere, okay? You can do it on your phone. You can make a list. It doesn't matter. You have to take stock, right? And after a while, what you want to do, set yourself a reminder. Bing, take stock. Bing, take stock. If you're not where you want to be, you need to be taking stock regularly. Now, if you're a little further along, you need to help others take stock. If you're having partners and you're having employees, you're having spouses, you're having kids. I'm a father of 3. You need to have kids taking stock. Where are you? Where are you going? Why are you in this behavior pattern? This is incongruent with where you want to be, right? These are the things that coaching and this whole world kicks into. This is everything that everybody does that's successful, is they take stock on a regular basis. Any closing words, Jake?
I do. I want to +1 that one, and I'll finish you with a quote I'm probably going to kill off too. The +1 to that one is, yes, take stock. Absolutely. Assess. Where am I? Where am I right now? And just like this show where Michael's taking lots of notes, let me use this as the example. Lots of notes. I'm learning lots of things. What are you doing? What are you going to take action on? Pick one thing of all the notes, all the nuggets, all the things you got, and say, action. I'm taking action today. So here's what I want to leave you guys with. If you do what you've always done, you will get what you've always gotten. If you are willing to do something different, if you want something different for your life, you must do what you've never done.
I love it. I love it. Thanks, Jake. All right, everybody. Until next time, my name is Michael Bercy for Jake Glendenning. Now it's your turn to disrupt.
You do it.